Hi, my name's Lorraine Ferrier. I am the founder of Fertility Joy, which is the program to reclaim your natural fertility fitness. So within this I fuse ancient wisdom and scientific know-how to make your baby dreams a reality. So if you're wanting to conceive naturally, or you have had trouble conceiving in the past, then you are in the right place. Because what I'm about to take you through today is the surprising secrets of a natural and easy conception. It's going to help you on your fertility journey and get you on the road to parenthood. So trying for a baby can be one of the most exciting times of our lives, but it can also be one of the most overwhelming, frustrating and depressing. But today I want to give you some valuable insights and as much content as I can in the short time we have together to ensure that your journey through fertility and to your baby dreams is as smooth as possible. So for those of you who are facing fertility issues right now, I have a gift for you at the end, so just stay tuned. What I am going to teach is the core foundation of my Fertility Joy program, to give you a healthy baby and for you to be happy parents. But before I go any further, you're probably wondering who I am. So I want to tell you a little bit more about myself and why I help many women and couples with their fertility. So when I started my periods, it was a very early age, at 10, and I have no prior knowledge of learning about puberty or menstruation, so it was a real shocking time for me, and almost like a grief of losing my girlhood and being put into womanhood. And I suffered from excruciatingly painful periods, and because of that was put on the contraceptive pill. Now, the contraceptive pill, for me, made me depressed, gave me hormonal imbalance, and I began to get overweight from being on that pill. So it was my journey, I felt, to go through trial and error of trying different things with my diet, my lifestyle, and I also studied a 3-year diploma in Ayurvedic medicine, which is Indian herbal medicine, to get myself back on track with my fertility and my period pains. I also won a scholarship, a 1-year scholarship with Natural Fertility New Zealand to become an educator. And through all of this journey, I learnt more about my fertility and I healed myself. I actually thought I was alone, but I'm not. And through the work I've done, not with my personal experience, but also in my professional experience as a natural fertility educator and as a natural healthcare practitioner, I learned that there are many more people suffering unnecessarily. Coupled with my charitable work with Fertility New Zealand and my community work on the Occupy Menstruation Facebook page, there are many people that are in similar conditions, suffering with similar conditions to me. And to me, that's not good enough. Something had to be done about it. Through my natural fertility clinic, I found 3 reoccurring issues of my clients, and that made me realise the extent of the problem. So couples have little or no understanding of their body. This was down to 3 things. Sex education based on fear. So when they were learnt at school, it's easy to get pregnant. They weren't necessarily told about fertility. It's all, don't get pregnant. We are taught as well that menstruation is painful and it's okay, but actually it isn't. We also, when I was growing up, and my clients, examples of this, were ill-informed because the role models, their parents or their peers, were ill-informed about fertility. And no one talks about fertility issues, even though many are going through it. Many people talk about it when it's actually coming up and being dealt with at a later stage. The second thing I realised was there was unrealistic expectations due to the media. Now that there seems to be celebrities that are getting pregnant over 40 and they're not being honest about how they've got there. And I am talking about assisted reproduction here. In the media, we are told by what we see that IVF is an easy road. It's not. In my experience with Fertility New Zealand and the many stories and case studies I hear, it's an invasive procedure, it's an emotional journey, it's painful, expensive, and the funding, if you're eligible, can be wrapped up in lots of red tape. Another thing about assisted reproduction, and I'm talking test tube babies, in vitro fertilization, is that you still need a viable egg and sperm. And what I mean by that is that your egg and your partner's sperm has to be of good quality. And of course, if we're talking with older couples, and this is over 35 in the medical terminology, you are dealing with less good quality and quantity. Not always, but that's another consideration. So, yes, assisted reproduction is an amazing technology. It's a great option, but it really should be a backup plan, not your first port of call. The other issue reoccurring that I noticed was what I call, rather affectionately, the contraceptive dance. Now, this is the belief that most of our life, our fertile life, we are trying to avoid getting pregnant, and that goes back to sex education at schools. We are told it's so easy to get pregnant. Well, the fact of the matter is that the sperm and the egg survival, that's what we call a fertile window. So it's quite a small window. The sperm survival in optimum conditions is 5 to 7 days. And if you think about the egg, the ovum, which is released at ovulation, that's 18 to 24 hours. So that's a small window out of your average 28, 30, 32 day cycle. Also, to do with the contraceptive dance, these figures, there is 1 in 5 couples in the UK that are infertile. Now, the figures are quite similar to America and Australasia, so 1 in 5. And 1 in 4 pregnancies actually result in a miscarriage. 1 in 4 pregnancies result in a miscarriage. So out of the people that are listening to this audio today, a quarter of those pregnancies will result in a miscarriage. So I'm saying all of this, these things that I found, these 3 factors, not to scare you, but for you to be aware, and there is a difference. So the turning point for me in my journey for fertility and teaching fertility was when I was at a Fertility New Zealand meeting. I'm on the committee for the Auckland group. And one of the ladies had said a friend of hers' husband said these words, and I'll never forget it. My battle with cancer was less stressful than my journey with infertility. My battle with cancer was less stressful than my journey with infertility. Now, I don't ever want to hear that again, because it certainly doesn't fit with my baby dreams, and it doesn't fit in with my ideal of having a baby when I was a child, those dreams. But I truly, truly believe that the journey to parenthood needs to be joyful, and it needs to be as fulfilling as holding your healthy newborn baby in your arms. So, Fertility Joy the program that I'm talking to you about, is about reducing the likelihood of these challenges, pinpointing them early on, using proven methods to give you that healthy baby and for you to be happy parents. So my philosophy when it comes to your fertility is concentrating on what I call your natural fertility fitness. Now we need to go into your imaginations here just a little bit. If you're a gardener it will be easy, but if you're not, just bear in mind we're going to look at a field or a part of your garden that has been untouched for a long time. Now when you're looking at this untouched field or this piece of land, the soil may not be able to grow seeds properly. So you need the right soil. You need to have the right pH, the acidity or the alkalinity needs to be correct. You need to have the correct supplements. You know, what does it actually need? Other nutrients might need to be added to it or to balance it. And to grow seeds properly on this barren, well not really barren, but this untouched land, you also need maybe to give it some time just to adjust. And remember, when we're talking in the garden, it's not only the soil that needs preparing. The seeds you plant in that soil need to be of the best quality. So sometimes they need to be soaked, sometimes they need to be fresher, sometimes they need a little bit of tender loving care. They need to be planted at the right time. All these things need to be taken into consideration. You wouldn't just, if you're a great gardener, you wouldn't just throw seeds on untended ground and expect them to grow, would you? Well, this analogy for me is you and your partner. You and your partner's bodies are the same. So I believe your fertility needs the same attention as that barren piece of land, because most of us, not barren, the untended piece of land, because most of us don't look at our fertility until we're trying and it's not working. So I believe your fertility needs the same attention, and that is fertility fitness. So fitness is something we need to work at and consciously reclaim. So that's what this is all about, consciously reclaiming your fertility fitness. And this is also why I didn't design the Get Pregnant Quick, it's a tongue twister, Get Pregnant Quick solution, because I don't believe in that. I really care about you, and I want to minimise your chance of miscarriage, your chances of fertility challenge, and that's why I've come up with this comprehensive approach. So, if you've been trying for a while to get pregnant, you are probably frustrated and tired. If you have just started pregnancy planning, as I call it, you might be overwhelmed by all the information. Right now, what I'm going to tell you, you might not like. In fact, you might even think I'm completely crazy. But I believe that if you're committed to fulfilling your baby dreams, you're going to have to trust me on this one, because I have done the research. I'm pretty confident on this one. In fact, I am absolutely confident. This is essential. I recommend very strongly that right now you stop having sex in order to get your baby dream. Silence. I can hear you gasp. Yes, I recommend that in order for you to get to your baby dream, to hold that baby in your arms, that healthy baby, for you to be happy parents, that you stop having sex right now. Well, why am I saying this crazy thing? Remember that garden. If you have not looked after that garden, your fertility, then we are dealing with the untended soil. That's the woman. And the untended or seed, which is the man. So this is all about this. Getting your fertility journey to a joyful space is about building your natural fertility fitness. And this natural fertility fitness that I'm talking about isn't just physical. Any athlete will tell you your mindset needs to be fully, totally aligned with your goal. And in this case, it's having your baby. So, to be fertility fit, I'm saying that you must have the right mindset and the right health and well-being strategies. Otherwise, it's not going to be sustainable. It's pretty exciting. It's a blank canvas with a healthy baby and happy parents at the end of your journey. One of the first things I tell my clients I want to share with you today, and I've learned it through my journey, my experience personally and professionally. One of the first things to do is to make peace with your period, and this is not some woo-woo thing. It's not some hippie. It has got some research behind it too. There has been research done on menstrual rights, so menstrual rites of passage, celebrating menarche, and it's shown that most traditions where they celebrate having your period, when you go into womanhood, that they have less period problems. And I'm equating that also to fertility issues. So, just a little bit of information about the background there. I want you to make peace with your periods by checking out your sanitary products. If you're using conventional tampons, stop it right away. And there's a reasoning behind this on my blog, which I'll mention a little bit later. Change to a menstrual cup or cloth pads. It's the best thing I did to get rid of my period issues and to improve my fertility. The chemicals in conventional tampons and pads are inadvertently damaging your fertility. It may even be causing mental health issues too. And I'm not saying this lightly, there is evidence. If you go to my blog, you will find out there's a blog called Womb Woe, From Womb Woe to Peaceful, Pain-Free Periods, and it details the environmental impact of the chemicals in sanitary products. But, the great thing is you're listening to this podcast, this audio, and I'm giving you this empowering information. It's correctable and it's easy to do. You can do it yourself. In fact, most of the advice I give for Fertility Joy is so simple that it may have been overlooked. And everything that I mention is something that can be done by you yourself, giving you full control over your body and your fertility, which is empowering for you and your partner. So, I also want to reveal 2 secret keys to your natural fertility fitness. And now, these 2 keys, it's exciting, most experts miss. They're so simple and they're so profound. Again, you can do them right now. The first one. Now, when I mention these, I'm just saying a little disclaimer here. You may think, whoa, that's ridiculous. But just try it. What have you got to lose? Be careful what language you use. This is the first one. From this day on, I suggest that you ban the word infertility from your vocab. In fact, I don't use it. You may have read some of my articles or seen it on Facebook or social media. I don't use the word infertility. And there's a reason, because when you're using something as a negative, you are automatically owning that. You're automatically buying in to the fact of infertility. And I also want to suggest banning words such as trying to conceive and TTC. What we're doing is planning pregnancy. And even when I say that, it feels lighter and it feels like we're doing something positive, because you are. Infertility has that dread about it. See how you feel about it. The second key that I want to tell you, that secret key that most experts miss, is in a similar ilk. I suggest that you don't look at or study infertility issues, diagnoses, or IVF, any assisted reproduction. And it's in the same vein. If you're looking at these things, you're going to be in that same ilk. and you're going to attract it. This is not putting your head in the sand. It really isn't. What is important for you to know is there is a great natural solution for you that helps your fertility bloom. And this brings me on to my gift for you today. Actually, it's two gifts, because I couldn't decide, and I really wanted to give you as much as I can, and we only have a short time in this audio. So as you know, I work with women and couples with fertility issues. And if you are going through this right now, you may have a burning fertility question you need answering. So I'm here to help you. In fact, each week I answer a fertility question in my Q&A. Now these are totally free. These are 5 minutes, totally for you, to ask me anything to do with your fertility. Now 5 minutes doesn't sound very long, but it is, because what I do is I load you with valuable content. There's no messing around, it's straight to the point with me. So what I want you to do is, if you have a burning issue to do with your fertility question, you can send it to me with your name or anonymously, doesn't matter, because if you have this question, someone else will too. And that's why I'm doing these public 5-minute Q&As. So why don't you let me know what's holding you back from your fertility joy? What is that burning question you want answered? And I'll give you the details at the end on where to send off and email me. The second gift I'm even more excited about, because I want to offer you a free one-on-one fertility breakthrough session. So this is over the phone or by Skype. Now these one-on-ones, totally free, no obligation, but they're calls for me to take you through your biggest challenge of trying to conceive. Remember, we're not trying to conceive, we are planning pregnancy. So what's your biggest challenge for pregnancy planning? What's possibly to blame for your issue? We'll delve a little bit into this. And I'll give you a little action plan to get you on that road to fertility fitness in real time for you and your partner. Have a think about those two gifts. One is for questions and answers, and the other one is one-on-one. Now, to access your one-on-ones, how do you get that? Well, I hear you ask. Well, these ones are actually exclusive. There's a small amount of slots I have each month that I can do these one-on-ones, because you can imagine they're very highly sought after. So what I do is I announce them on my newsletter and a few selective online places. So the best thing to do is to sign up for my newsletter, which also has weekly content on fertility fitness, reclaiming your natural fertility fitness. And when I release them, you'll hear firsthand and in real time. So I don't want you to miss out on that, because the one-on-ones are really valuable. So like I said, it's free guidance for you, and it's highly valuable to you. So if you're ready to move forward with your fertility in a natural way, you need to sign up for my newsletter. To do that, you just go to my website, which is www.lorraineferrier.com. I'm going to spell that out. LORRAINEFerrier.com. And what you'll do is you'll see, it'll be really obvious to sign up for my newsletter, and we keep in contact that way, because I would love to know what has helped you in this audio, anything on my blog. If there's something that you would like me to cover, I'm really open to that. To me, it's empowering everyone to see their unique natural fertility fitness and reclaim it in a way that is real and potent to them, because we can all do this. I really, really want to thank you for your time today, and I wish you well on reclaiming your fertility fitness. Have a wonderful day, and I would love to hear from you soon. Goodbye.